This is an individual, though, who came to the attention of defense attorneys, as I said on the introduction, because he volunteered. Let's go back out to San Diego and talk to David Bartick about this very issue. David, the idea, have you ever had this happen to you? You're trying a case, it gets some notoriety, and somebody comes forward and says, hey, I can help.
Well, this is certainly an extraordinary situation. I mean, basically, the whole county of San Diego, as well as the country, many individuals are watching this trial. I've had times when, basically, from newspaper accounts and that type of thing, that certain witnesses have come forward. It's kind of interesting in regard to the clip that we just saw. It seemed like where the defense was going was trying to defend the fact that the circuitous route was taken by Mr. Westerfield and trying to indicate that perhaps weather was a reason why, and perhaps of snow or ice, and yet the witness apparently indicated he didn't have much experience with that, and what was missing is a follow-up to show that actually there were these type of bad weather conditions during the time of the abduction of Danielle, which was never really followed.
Sure, and I guess in the opinion probably of some of the jurors, there are a number of loose ends to that extent. Let me go to another odd development in this case. After the case, or actually during the pendency of this case, we come to find out later that a county employee had apparently tried to contact the Inquirer to try to see if they could sell or put on the internet the autopsy photos of Danielle Van Dam, much like in the Winona Ryder case where the documents having to do with her probation report somehow disappeared out of the clerk's office, and that situation was never solved. Is this something like the Winona Ryder case here in the David Westerfield situation that's unique, you think, to high-profile cases where odd things just seem to start to happen?
Absolutely. When you have an extraordinary case like this, extraordinary exposure, extraordinary things are going to happen. Fortunately, in regard to this situation here, it was actually an employee of the Public Works Department that then solicited from an employee who worked in the county internal photo development department. Fortunately, as soon as this employee of the developing department was solicited about this, they then went to their boss, and immediately an investigation was conducted, and this Public Works employee was actually fired, and there may be criminal prosecution as a result of this. So fortunately, none of those photographs, none of the crime scene photos were disseminated, because it truly would be a tremendously poor, bad taste and invasion of privacy.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it would be absolutely disgusting for those photos of poor Danielle's little body to be disseminated publicly. David, let me ask you about the bug evidence in this case. That was a key part of the defense. We're not showing it today just because of the time restraints we're working with, but there were 4 bug experts who testified in this case. One of them, David Faulkner, was initially the prosecution expert who gave an opinion the prosecution didn't like. The defense called him. I thought the bug evidence was the best that the defendant had to work with. Later on, I find out that the defense knew all along that it was bogus because Westerfield was guilty all along. What's your opinion about calling an expert to testify to a scientific opinion that you know as a defense attorney is just not true?
Well, again, this is a situation where the defense attorney has to put on his case. He has to put on the evidence and let the jury, the fact finders, actually make a decision of which evidence they're going to believe and which they're going to discredit and push aside. I know, Lisa, you've been indicating that for a fact that Mr. Feldman knew that his client committed this offense. I haven't really seen the documentation regarding that. There has been a report disseminated that infers that information, but it may have also been the fact that that Mr. Feldman was trying to do whatever he can to assist his client, and he may have proposed to the prosecution, what if we're able to do this? What if we're able to show you?
And I think that, David, that really is the point that separates defense attorneys from prosecutors, and defense attorneys apparently from a lot of our viewers who take issue with that tactic. But for folks like you, our criminal justice system will simply cease to function. David Bartick, thank you so much for joining us, and please come back the next time we have a case out there.
Thank you, my pleasure.